MultiVersus currently has 6,500 people playing on Steam. That is very bad. And I can come up on here and hate on this game, but I've noticed that in my YouTube recommended, I've seen multiple videos of people doing just that, hating on MultiVersus for no reason. But what I have not seen is someone who genuinely loves this game and someone who plays this game every single day actually discuss what needs to get better in this game for it to not die off like it did in the beta. So that's what's going to happen in this video. Let's get into it. First of all, what makes a fighting game actually stay relevant? What is the difference between Smash Bros. Ultimate, Tekken, and Street Fighter versus Skullgirls, Naruto Shinobi Striker, Dragon Ball Fighter Z? I will tell you the #1 difference, and it is new content and balanced gameplay. The #1 thing that should take priority overall in a fighting game is balanced gameplay. All of the games that I just list, Street Fighter, Tekken, Smash Bros, they have perfectly balanced rosters. There is no character that's extremely broken. Yes, you're probably going to have top tiers and low tiers. However, you are not going to have a complete power imbalance like you have in MultiVersus. This is one of two things that MultiVersus can do to make their game continue to do well. First of all, they need to balance the roster. MultiVersus has by far the most unbalanced roster that I've ever seen in a fighting game, but that is not inherently a bad thing in a game like MultiVersus, because let's be real, this is an extremely casual catering game. With the 2v2 mode, all they have to do is make it so people are having fun. It doesn't necessarily matter if a character is broken as long as people are having fun. However, that is why they need to prioritize adding new content into the game. Ideally, of course, they want to keep the game balanced as well as keep adding new characters. That is how you keep both sides of the community happy. However, right now, dare I say, it feels like MultiVersus is doing neither of these things. Recall all of the patches that we have gotten since the release of this game, and you will quickly realize what MultiVersus has actually been changing this whole time. It says things like Tom's forward tilt has been reduced by 1 frame, things that don't actually affect the gameplay of the game. They have nerfed characters that did not need it, such as Gizmo, and then left absolutely game-breaking, fun-ruining characters completely as they are, like Joker and Wonder Woman. In the last patch notes, they actually said some things like, "We realize that Joker is way too strong and we are working on it." You need to work on it faster. Your game is in the spotlight. You can't just leave things as they are and expect the game to flourish. Next up, I've gotten some comments on my videos that say, do you feel as if characters are way too hard to unlock? And as I started playing in the beta, I quickly just said no to this. I never had trouble unlocking characters, but that is because I never really paid attention to it, and now I have pretty much every character in the game. However, recently I made a new MultiVersus account on Epic Games, and I realized that they only give you 1 character to start the game off. A lot of people are not going to get committed enough to the game using 1 character to actually go unlock the rest of the cast. They need to give you at least like half of the cast when you start off the game, or else people are just going to get bored, especially when you give them the most generic basic character available, Shaggy. And the character unlock system is just the first domino in one of the most aggressive pay-to-play schemes that we have ever seen in gaming history. A lot of people have been complaining about the amount of microtransactions, and once again, as someone who has all the characters, this doesn't really concern me. But if you need to unlock characters, it is so much faster to just buy them with Gleamium than to just earn them. And it wouldn't be a problem if you could easily earn them and the option was available to buy them with Gleamium, but it really does take you like 10 hours of gameplay just to unlock a single character. And if you want to get Agent Smith, I think you're going to be spending over like $70 to get this guy early. Me personally, I don't really care about him, but I really do see how players feel like they're more so taking advantage of customers than they actually are players. They need to be far less aggressive with the Gleamium prices, and I'm sure a lot of people would be completely willing to just pay $20 for the game if it meant they had all the characters unlocked. Next up, probably the most important thing I'm going to talk about in this video, there needs to be some form of progression, especially in a game where you can get better and better the more you play and then still lose to an average player using one of the best characters. There needs to be some sort of way of telling that you are actually improving, some sort of payoff for queuing up match after match, some sort of reward so you can actually get a dopamine hit off of winning. We need to once again have rankings. I'm not talking about ranked mode, we will talk more about that in a minute. I'm talking about actual rankings. You used to be able to go to your character roster, click on a character, and see where you ranked among other people using that character. Now, however, you cannot do that. The answer to why you can no longer do that, I do not know. There's zero reason. It felt like you were actually becoming better as that rank went up. It felt like you actually had some bragging rights. You could actually say, I'm the 20th Finn, I'm the 1th Morty, The first Morty. Next up, I'm finally going to talk about it. We need ranked. They keep edging us with ranked. Stop edging me, MultiVersus. Stop saying it's coming next week if it's not coming next week. Stop saying this week. Stop even putting it in the game if you don't plan on releasing it. Why do we need ranked though? Okay, first of all, it ties back into what I said earlier about needing some form of progression to feel like you are actually getting what is worth your time. And second, I want to not play on Mojo Jojo's map anymore. If I'm trying to take this game seriously, the last thing I want are these little arcade maps such as Mojo Jojo, such as Crumbulus. If I want to have fun, I'll go play 2v2s or I'll go play quick match or casual match, whatever y'all want to call it, man. But there needs to be an option to get me to stop playing on Mojo Jojo map. I do not want bombs thrown at me. I've already mentioned that we need some new content, and whether they add characters or not doesn't really concern me because me personally, I just want a more balanced game. However, something that is very important in 2D platform fighters, if you want to keep things from getting repetitive, you need a wide selection of maps. Smash Bros and Brawlhalla did this beautifully. I think they both have like over 20 maps, and this might not even be something that you realize. Like, this is something that goes onto the background, but what you don't know is subconsciously every single match when you are seeing a new map in your head, you are getting a fresh experience every single time. So the fact that MultiVersus only has what, like 5 or 6 maps in 1v1s, and they're honestly not that visually appealing. The only one that I think genuinely looks good is Tree Fort. You know, things do get a little competitive in the map department. They need to add some new maps. It shouldn't be hard to do at all. It's literally just put a picture in the background, add a random platform. I don't even make it Galaxy or something lame. All it has to be is different. If there was a bunch of different maps, the game would be a lot better. That's about it for me, but I asked the #1 LeBron, Christopher's, his links are in the description, what he wants added to MultiVersus, and what he told me was that he wanted some actual characters that people care about. And I completely agree. I think the large majority of the cast in MultiVersus is extremely underwhelming. Stripe, Gizmo, Marvin the Martian, Velma, Black Adam, just characters that really no one cares about, not even old heads, not young bucks. No one cares about a lot of these characters. They should not only dig a little deeper in the bag and add some characters from their own franchise that people would like a lot more, like Gumball and Darwin, like Daffy Duck, but they should also go out and get some rights to the crazy collabs like the Agent Smith collab, except ones that people actually want, like Walter White. And then the final thing, MultiVersus by far out of any fighting game has the worst practice mode I have ever seen. Not only is it extremely glitchy and buggy, not only can you not set characters to do certain moves, you can only set them to do neutral attack, neutral special, side special. You can't lab them out and see how sequences work against your character, but they don't even have things like combo guides. And as fighting games are getting increasingly more complex with not only their practice mode, but their replay system, and even using AI to let you control parts of the replay and tell you what you could have done better in certain situations, at the bare minimum, their practice mode should have a speed slider. Smash Bros has been doing this, I think, since the first ever game, maybe the second. They added a speed slider to their practice mode, and MultiVersus still does not have it. It's like, what are we doing? Obviously, I would love to keep making MultiVersus content forever, but they are really dropping the ball with this game. If you agree, if you want to spread this message, maybe actually influence some change in the community, leave a like on this video and subscribe if you're new. I will probably be the last MultiVersus content creator because I love this game so much, man. See y'all later. Thank you for watching.